Hello, good morning students. Now in today's lecture we are going to continue the topic complex number. In the previous lecture I gave the idea of complex number, what is complex number and other things, addition of complex numbers. Now let's see subtraction of complex numbers, multiplication of complex numbers, division of complex numbers. Subtraction of complex numbers, subtraction of complex numbers same as addition of complex numbers. Like suppose we have a complex number, let z1 is equal to a plus ib, z2 is equal to c plus id, then z1 minus z2 means difference, subtraction. So we have a plus ib minus c plus id. Simply when we add or subtract, we add real part with real part, imaginary part with imaginary part. So if you open the bracket, we have a plus ib minus c minus id. Here a and c are real, so a minus c together plus I is common from these two, so we have b minus d is a complex number. Means sum of two complex number is complex number, difference of two complex number is complex number. Now let's see z1 into z2, z1 into z2. So what we have, a plus ib into c plus id. Simply multiply as you multiply two brackets in algebraic form, multiplying a into these two, b into these two. Let's see, we have ac plus iad plus ibc plus I square bd, and you know I square is equal to minus 1. Since I square is equal to minus 1, so we have AC plus IAD plus IBD minus BD. I square is minus 1. So AC and BD are real. So we can write AC minus BD together plus I is common. We have AD plus BC. AD plus BC. This is C. AD plus BC. So this is again a complex number. This is real part and this one is imaginary part. Similarly, Z1 upon Z2. Z1 upon Z2. So we have to find Z1 A plus IB upon C plus ID. Multiply both numerator and denominator by its conjugate. So we have C minus ID is the conjugate and C minus ID is conjugate, multiply and divide. You know what is the conjugate? Means we change the sign between the two numbers. Now multiply the numerator. What we have, A into C, AC, A minus IAD plus IBC minus I square BD. I square BD upon, in denominator we have A plus B and A minus B formula. So we can write C square minus I square D square. Let's see the result. What happens? This becomes I square is equal to -1, तो it becomes plus. तो AC minus is common here, I, AD minus BC plus BD upon here I square is equal to -1, so we have C square plus D square. See, AC minus plus BD, AC plus BD is what? Real number. तो AC plus BD in one bracket, take minus sign common here, तो we can write plus I times of BC plus AD upon BC minus AD, sorry, it is BC minus AD upon C square plus D square. Now divide this in two terms. We have AC plus BD upon C square plus D square plus I times of BC minus AD upon C square plus D square. Again, this is real part and this one is imaginary part. So quotient of two complex number is also a complex number. So conclusion is addition of two complex numbers, that is sum of two complex number, is a complex number. Difference of two complex number is complex number. Product of two complex number is complex number, and quotient of two complex number is complex number. Got it? So these are the results to be learned. Now let's see conjugate of complex numbers. As I told, we change simply the sign between the numbers, but a few complex numbers like C, conjugate of complex numbers like Z is equal to A plus IB. तो conjugate is written as bar of the complex number, like Z bar is equal to A minus IB. Suppose Z is equal to 3 plus 2I, तो Z bar is equal to 3 minus 2I. But in case when we are given real part, real number, तो its conjugate is only real, its conjugate is same as real. Like let Z is equal to 5, this is real. So we can write or Z is equal to 5 plus 0I, 5 plus 0I, or Z bar is equal to 5 minus 0I, and this is 0. So Z bar is equal to 5 itself. Suppose you are given imaginary number, so imaginary becomes opposite, like let Z is equal to 3I, or we can write this Z is equal to 0 plus 3I. Now this becomes a complex number, so its conjugate Z bar is equal to 0 minus 3I, or Z bar is equal to minus 3I. So if we have imaginary part, imaginary number, so its conjugate becomes opposite sign, positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. If you have real part, so there is no change when we find the conjugate. Got it? Now let's see the sum of a complex number and its conjugate. the sum of a complex number and its conjugate is always equal to twice the real part. Means I am giving the point z plus z bar is equal to 2 times of real z. 2 times of real z. Let z is equal to a plus ib, then z bar is equal to a minus ib. Now get the sum. Z plus z bar is equal to a plus ib plus a minus ib. This will go minus ib plus ib. So we have z plus z bar is equal to 2a, and a is real part. A is real part. So z plus z bar is equal to twice of real of z. This one. These are the facts to be learned. Now similarly, difference of z minus z bar is equal to 2 times of imaginary z. Let's see. Z minus z bar is equal to a plus ib minus a minus ib. So we have a plus ib minus a plus ib, minus a plus a will go. This is 2 times of ib. This can be written I times of 2b, and this is twice of imaginary. So we can write z minus z bar is equal to twice of imaginary z. This is the fact. Now it's turn to get the product. Let's see z and z bar. Let's see what happens when we multiply a complex number and its conjugate. A complex number in its conjugate, that is real part plus imaginary part. See, z into z bar is equal to real z square plus imaginary z square. See, let z is equal to a plus ib, c plus id, x plus iy, whatever you want. So z bar is equal to a minus ib. Let's see, z into z bar is equal to what we have, a plus ib into c plus id. This becomes a plus b and a minus b formula. Sorry, it is a minus ib, a plus b and a minus b formula. So we have a square minus I square b square, and I square is what? Minus 1. I square is equal to minus 1. So we have a square plus b square. This is z into z bar, and a is real part, b is imaginary part. So what we have? Real z whole square plus imaginary z whole square. This is the conclusion, result. Now let's see, if we have z1 and z2 two complex numbers, then z1 plus z2 bar is equal to what? Let's see. Let z1 and z2 be complex numbers, then z1 plus z2 bar is equal to z1 bar plus z2 bar. This is the fact. Let's see. Let z1 is equal to a plus ib, z2 is equal to c plus id. Then first we find z1 plus z2, z1 plus z2. So what is result? We will add real part with real part, imaginary part with imaginary part. So what we have? A plus c plus I times of b plus d. Got it? Now its conjugate, z1 plus z2 bar is equal to, we have a plus c minus I times of b plus d. We have got the conjugate. Multiply this inside. We have a plus c minus ib minus id. Take a minus ib together. We have a minus ib plus c minus id. And you see, what is a minus ib? This is conjugate of z1. So we can write z1 bar plus, this is conjugate of z2. So this is z2 bar. Means we have z1 plus z2 and its conjugate is z1 bar plus z2 bar. These are the small theorems. Similarly in case of difference, we have z1 minus z2 bar is equal to z1 minus z1 bar minus z2 bar. Similarly z1 into z2 is equal to z1 into z2. So these are the small theorems to be learned. Now we are coming to see the argand plane, argument and modulus. Students, in this chapter two things are removed from the syllabus. One is representation of complex number in form of polar form. Means we need not to prove this time the polar form and its property. And the square root of any complex number. Earlier it was in syllabus, but this time square root and polar form has been removed from the syllabus. Got it? So let's see the other things. Now let's see the term argand plane. Argand plane means any plane on which you can draw the axis. Plane surface is called argand plane. Now how we represent a complex number in a plane? Let's see. This is x-axis, x dash, y and y dash. These are the terms. Let z is equal to x plus iy. X plus iy is a complex number. So you know that in complex number z is equal to x plus iy, this x is the real number, real part, y is the imaginary part. Now you know that in this plane, this x-axis is called real line. X-axis is called real line. Y-axis is called imaginary line. So whatever abscissa is real and its ordinate is imaginary. So if we represent this complex number, see, if any point is lying in any of the quadrants, suppose this is point P and its coordinate is x comma y. This P is a point. P is a point. Means its abscissa is x and ordinate is y. Abscissa is x and ordinate is y. It is a point. But when this point is noted as a number, try to understand. There is a difference in point and number. तो P is a point whose coordinate is x, y. तो when this point is represented by a number, that number is called a complex number. Means in the Cartesian plane, if any point is noted as number in number system, so it is a complex number. Let's see. This is y, this distance is x, and this distance is y. When we join this point O, suppose, so this is under root x square plus y square by Pythagoras theorem, and this is named as z. Modulus of z is same, means the number represented by the point xy, and that is x plus iy. So the distance of this point from the origin, the distance of this point from the origin is called the modulus of the number. Modulus of the number. Number means complex number. Let this angle is theta. This angle is theta. So modulus of z is equal to under root x square plus y square. To remember this means simply for any complex number, its modulus is under root sum of square of real part and imaginary part. Suppose we have another point here and its coordinate is minus x comma y. Then this point is suppose q, and if we join this here, so what is the complex number of this q? Z is equal to minus x plus iy, because x is negative in second quadrant. So if you are going to find, see, this point is, this distance is x, because this is minus x, and this one is y. So again you will see modulus z is equal to x square plus y square. Modulus of z is equal to x square. Square of negative is positive, distance is never negative, so x square plus y square. I mean to say, for any point in this Argand plane, its modulus of this of z is square under root sum of square of real part and imaginary part. Now one more thing we will discuss, that is called argument. Argument is the angle between x-axis and the modulus of the complex number, this theta. So argument is called angle theta, and this can be found using this triangle, suppose triangle OPR. So in triangle OPR, simply we can use tan theta. This angle is known perpendicular upon base, so we can tan theta is equal to y upon x, or we can say theta is equal to tan inverse y upon x. Means argument is tan inverse imaginary z upon real z. Imaginary z upon real z. So whenever you are asked to find the argument Suppose I am giving one example. I am giving one example like this. Let z is equal to 3 minus 4i. 3 minus 4i. तो or 3 plus 4i, any one you can choose. So if you are going to find modulus, that is mod of z is equal to under root 3 square plus 4 square. Mod of z is equal to, this is 9 plus 16 is equal to under root 25. So mod of z is equal to 5. Now what is the angle? Argument theta is equal to tan inverse imaginary z upon real z. So theta is equal to tan inverse imaginary z. Imaginary z is 4 by 3. So this is how we can find the argument and the modulus. Argument and modulus can be found in this way. Now this is the basic things. Now we are coming to start the exercise 5.1. Very simple exercise. Other things I will tell you as we proceed in the chapter. Exercise 5.1, very simple exercise. The first question 1 is, express each of the complex numbers given in exercise 1 to 10 in form of a plus ib. 5i into minus 3 upon 5i. 5i into minus 3 upon 5i. So we have to change this into form of a plus ib, means in form of complex number. Simply multiply this 5i into minus 3 upon 5i. 5 and 5 will go. What we have? Minus 3i square. And since I square is equal to minus 1, so minus 3 into minus 1 is equal to 3. It is real part. So therefore z is equal to 3 plus 0i, means we have to write the complex number form. So we have to mention both real and imaginary part. If any of the parts is not given, that becomes 0. Like in this question, imaginary part was not there, so I have written 0i. Got it? Very simple question. Now question number 2, same thing we have to represent in form of a plus ib. Question number 2, I to the power 9 plus I to the power 19. You have been told that I square is equal to minus 1, so I to the power 4 is equal to 1. If you have the power of I more than 4, so try to convert this into multiple of 4. Let z is equal to, we can write this, see, I to the power 8 into I plus, we can write I to the power 16 into I to the power 3, or you can write I to the power 20 minus I to the power 1. See, this can be written as I to the power 4 whole square into I plus, this can be I to the power 4 to the power 4 into I cube into I square into I. Got it? See, I to the power 4 is 1 into I plus, this is 1 into minus 1 into I to the power 4 is 1, its power 4 is 1, I to the square is minus 1 and into I. So we have I and plus into minus, minus I is equal to 0. So what is Z? Z is equal to 0 plus 0I. is the answer. Got it? Very simple questions. We have a question number 3. You can see third question. Let z is equal to I to the power minus 39. This is third question. Again we have to change this into complex number. So what to do? This can be changed into positive. So z is equal to, we can write 1 upon I to the power 39. Multiply this by I, divide this by I. Why? It is 39. If you multiply this I, it becomes 40. So z is equal to I upon I to the power 40. This can be written as I upon I to the power 4 whole to the power 10, and I to the power 4 is 1 and power 10 is 10, means 1 to the power 10 is 1. So what we have, z is equal to I upon 1. This can be written 0 plus I is the answer. Third question. Fourth question is again simple question. See, fourth question, what are given? 3 times of 7 plus I7. Let z is equal to 3 times of 7 plus I7 into plus I times of 7 plus I7 plus I times of 7 plus I7. See the question. Question is 3 times of 7 plus I7 plus I times of 7 plus I7. Simplify this. Z is equal to 3 7 21 plus 21I plus 7I plus I square into 7. I square is minus 1. We have z is equal to 21 plus 28I minus 7. I square is minus 1. It becomes, so 21 minus 7. Z is equal to 14 plus 28I is the answer. This is the form of complex number. So similarly, we can solve the other problem also. I am solving question number 7 and question number 5, question number 6 you will try yourself. See, I am solving question number 7. Seventh question is given like this. Let z is equal to, we have 1 upon 3 plus I 7 upon 3 plus 4 plus I 1 upon 3 minus here minus 4 upon 3 plus I. So we have to simplify this as a complex number. Open the bracket. First, let z is equal to 1 upon 3 is the real part and 4 is real part. So plus 4 together plus I is common, 7 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3. 7 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3 minus to minus plus 4 upon 3 minus I. Sign changes due to minus sign outside. Here, see what we have. 3 4 are 12, 1 13 upon 3. 13 upon 3 plus 7 plus 8 upon 3 I times of 8 upon 3 plus 4 upon 3 minus I. See, this is real part, these were imaginary parts. So we have z is equal to 13 upon 3 plus 4 upon 3 together, plus I is common, we have 8 upon 3 minus 1, I is common. So we have z is equal to 17 upon 3 plus 3 on the 3, 5 upon 3, I times of 5 upon 3. So this is the answer of complex number. Got it? So very simple, simply in this exercise we have to convert all these into complex numbers. Got it? So question number 7 I have done. Question number 8, 9, 10 you will try yourself. I am solving question number 8 and other you can solve. Using formula, simply algebraic formula are to be used in these questions. Question number 8 is given. See, 1 minus I whole to the power 4. Let z is equal to 1 minus I whole to the power 4. So if you don't have the idea of power 4, so you can write this 1 minus I whole square, 1 minus I whole square twice. So we can write 1 minus I whole square into 1 minus I whole square. Break this into these two whole square. We have 1 plus I square minus 2I. Here 1 plus I square minus 2I. This I square is minus 1. 1 minus 1 minus 2I. Here 1 minus 1 minus 2I. So we have minus 1 plus 1 gone, minus 1 plus 1 gone. Multiply this, minus 2I into minus 2I, 4I square. And since I square is equal to minus 1, so we have minus 4. So complex number z is equal to minus 4 plus 0I. This is how you can solve this. Now question number 9, it is given whole cube. Question number 10 given whole cube. So you will simplify using the formula of a plus b whole cube and you can get the result. Got it? So I have done up to question number 10. I have left some question for you. Question number 11 to 14 I will solve in next lecture because it is of different question. So till then, in today's lecture only this much. Thank you very much. God bless.